Hello, class. My name is Jean Chalas, and today we're going to talk about our short story presentation for Unit 1. Our first story is about a coach who struggles to find players who are good enough at football but also smart enough to be accepted into college. Often he failed, and in this story, he tried to circumvent the system of admissions by talking to the dean, asking him to waive the college's requirements of examination for every student who aspires to join it. The dean, after some attempted persuasion by the coach, communicates that he has some questions he'd like to ask to gauge the player's knowledge. The questions, about some basic calculations, were very easy, but the player's knowledge turns out to be really bad. So the dean has no other choice but to reject him in complete disbelief of how bad the situation is. The coach still tries to get a pass by saying that he was not wrong by that much, as if by implying that the player was less wrong because the margin of error was smaller or larger. This story for me leaves a message that some people who struggle to achieve their goals, however good or bad may be, they tend to want to bend or even break the rules so that they can get what they want. More often than not, what they are trying to do is limited by some standards for a reason. However, people like this usually don't really care about requirements. To play devil's advocate for a moment, sometimes the rules are too stringent indeed and make achievement almost impossible. However, breaking them hardly ever results in improvements being made. For the people who are responsible for the application of said rules, it's uncomfortable most of the time to deal with these kind of situations, and they would definitely prefer to avoid it because no matter how much the person trying to break the rules tries to minimize or even trivialize the severity of the problem, again, the rules exist for a reason. Um, the idea that standards should be lowered, that rules should not be followed, that it should be allowed to treat the rules as if they were a joke, is a very common occurrence in life. From workplaces where mediocre people or lazy people always demand that whatever they do be accepted, regardless of how lacking they are or completely absent in quality terms, to professionals that don't even know how to read but keep on demanding higher pay, to even parents trying to educate their children in a society in which you are expected to be patient and tolerant with them, even when they are not behaving the way they should. It's not that bad. It was only late for 15 minutes. Once a year makes no harm, as we would say in our country, and so many other phrases illustrate this problem. People think that respecting the rules, the standards, it's something that can be done by degree, or that failure is less problematic depending on the frequency or intensity of how much it happens. Inevitably, this leads to mediocrity, in my opinion, because only those who cannot or won't work hard enough will be able to be up to the task at hand and would ask for an exception to be made.